Hey Flosstube, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. I'm trying to make another update before I possibly go back to work. I'm a teacher. We're still trying to figure that out here in New York. So this is my channel where I talk about my cross stitch and my knitting and crochet and some books sometimes. And I think that's it. And welcome back to my video from my bedroom. You might be able to hear him in the background. My boyfriend's currently working. We're still working at home. That's about it. But we're working on a new craft room and I'm hoping I'll be able to show you. I'll try to take some video and maybe insert it at the end if you're interested. It's a really tiny room. It used to be my bedroom when I was little. The walls needed a lot of work, but since we're renting, we did not feel like repairing too much and spending too much money because our neighbor tends to make things leak a lot, our upstairs neighbor. But either way, we're excited for a craft space and a Lego space for him possibly. I don't know. I already started rambling. This is going to be a hard video, but yeah, this is not the best place to film. Hopefully the camera doesn't fall over. I think it did last time and it was really bad. Okay, but I have notes this time. So I guess I'll start with my FOs. I don't think I had any stitching FOs. I had a lot of page finishes since my last video, but I don't think I had anything else. No, so I'll just show you stuff that I crocheted or knitted that's finished. So I've been doing a lot of crochet and knitting. It's kind of taken over. I joined the 100 Days of Socks. Not really a challenge, but just a hashtag by Ann P, who is also on Flosstube and YouTube. Hi, Ann. And she's Willy Wonka Fibers. So she's been hosting that. So I've been participating there and just trying new sock methods, different knitting styles. I tried circulars for sock knitting. And so it's just letting me try some new things, new patterns. Sock drawer 2020. I want to have a lot of handmade socks this winter. And I really enjoy sock knitting and sock yarn. So it seemed like an appropriate challenge for me. Finishes. We're already like 3 minutes in and I haven't shown anything. So this is, oh, I forgot. And if I think I'll just insert it or I'll have notes at the bottom. I forget the name of this. Sage Brush Tank, maybe? By Grace for the Frills. This was a crocheted finish that I finished. I did it in a size, I think this is the size large. And I did the short version, so it fits sort of like a crop top. Super cozy. I love the yarn. The yarn is Stratus Reflections Cotton DK by Knit Picks. And it is delicious. I loved working with this yarn. The drape is really nice. It's cotton. It's breathable. It was a little bit warm to wear it when I did wear it. That's all I can really say. Easy crochet pattern if you're new to crocheting. This was just half double crochet through the back loop. You made a front piece and a back piece and then seamed them together. And she showed you how to finish the neckline and under the arm so that they look really straight and smooth. She even offers a free YouTube tutorial with each part of it. So it's really amazing free pattern. And she has a lot of other cute little outfits out there, but I love it. I've worn it once already. I love it. Hopefully I'll be able to wear it again because the weather is already cooling down here. Typical. Socks. I did finish. I have them. So my apartment, and I think this happens to like anybody with yarn and wools, has been attacked by those little moths. I mean, I think everybody gets them. I don't know how yarn stores do not get them. So my black rose socks are currently in a Ziploc bag and I forgot to take them out and I kind of didn't want to disturb them because once I put my wools away, I kind of want to leave them alone so that I can minimize the chance of them being infiltrated by these moths. So I'll pop in a picture of what those look like. I finished those during our trip to New Hampshire. I had such a beautiful time at the lake. It was good to get away from New York City and be in the mountains and in the outdoors and by water. I mean, I live by water now, but it's not water you can swim in. But those socks were fun. I did have to frog an entire sock because just the lace pattern, it took me a while to get used to it. And I think when I do a lace pattern next time like that, I will swatch for longer just so I can practice the lace pattern and do a few repeats before starting the actual project. Because once I got really comfortable with the actual lace pattern, I had already messed up. So it started to look really smooth, and I didn't want the second sock to look better than the first sock. So I decided to frog, restarted. I really knew the lace pattern, had it memorized, was really comfortable with it, and then was able to knock both socks out. I did them in a size, I have a really narrow and really small foot. So where 64 stitches works for a lot of people on size 2.75 millimeters, which I think is a 2, I tend to use a 2.5 and either do a 56 cast on or a 64. Only because I have a really narrow foot, but then I also won't make them super long because then I have wide calves, mainly from running. So it's kind of weird. So I don't usually make really tall top socks for myself. I'll do like maybe crew, is that what it's called? So it's not so tall. But then my foot is narrow. So I tend to not use size 2. I tend to use size 1.5, I think it is. So a 2.5 millimeter for my socks for myself. And for anyone else wondering about sock knitting, it really just takes a lot of time to get used to your own foot. Take a lot of notes. Always write down the size needles that you use and the cast on and measurements. Because like for my boyfriend, for example, I'll use a size 2 and 64 for him, and they fit him fine. And I'm still learning his foot. So even I just made him a new pair of socks, and it was a little bit different than his first pair based on the feedback he was able to give me on what parts of the sock fit really well and what parts didn't. Another pair of socks that I was able to finish were the Simply Skip socks by Adrienne Wu. All of these patterns can be found on Ravelry. I don't have sock blockers, so I did these for right now, which is fine, and I like it. I'm gonna do some washi tape and decorate them up. I went back and forth with frogging the second sock on this one because I missed. They're really, and a lot of people said they can't see it, and that makes me feel better. I can see it, I know it's there, but I also didn't frog because I was told that when it's in the shoe, duh, you're not gonna see the mistake that's on the top foot here. So what had happened was I forgot to rearrange my stitches when starting the heel. And so the top of this sock has 3 of the pattern repeats that you see on the leg. I mean 4. 1, 2, 3. No, it's 3. Something like that. No, it's 4. Oh boy. It's 3, and this one was what? 2. Yeah, so it's 3 and 2. So you can kind of see it. I hate showing people my mistakes, but it's okay. Right here. And then there's none here because it's only on. No, it is 4. And then this one only has 2. Whatever. And there's 2 on the top here. So there's 2 of this pattern on the top here. And on this one there's 4, which means there's 1 band that you can see from the sides, which you cannot see on this sock. Something like that. Yeah, anyway, really easy pattern. This is by that like Michael's Lion brand yarn that you can find. Sakis in taffy. I like it. It's good when, these will be gifts by the way. So it's good for like when you're gifting socks for someone who might not care for them as well and needs it to be super wash. Not hand wash. And I have to say, when I gift socks for the first time, I try not to use really fancy yarns because they might not appreciate them or wear them. So I use it as a test. If they wear them and they enjoy them, I'll make them new socks with better yarn. That's that. So those are my finishes. Whips. So this is going to be a mix of cross stitch whips and knitting whips. So yeah, I didn't have any whips, any finishes cross stitching. I think I didn't. Maybe I did. I don't know. Anywho, first piece I'm going to show is my Jane Austen. And I'll try to insert pictures of what things will look like when they're finished and what they look like before. I don't have a picture of this one finished. It was a stitch along. And of course I didn't write down the designer, but I used to have them really memorized well. This time around, it's been a while, but I'll try to insert it. Or you can just message me, leave me a comment, and I'll let you know. And this is on, I think it's a 16 or 18 count vintage country mocha. And I'm doing the called for colors. Yeah, can't talk anymore. Just look at it. It's so cute. I love Jane Austen. So I finished the Sense and Sensibility block. And now this is going to be the Pride and Prejudice block. I might have shown this last time, so I'm not sure. If I did, you get to see it again. So that was my Jane Austen Sal. That's not really a Sal anymore. Next up, Epic Pokemon, which needs time to be unclipped and stuff like that. This one, I've kind of changed the way I rotate it a little bit and work on projects. Pokemon is so close to being done. So I'll show a picture of what it looked like before and what it'll look like finished. And since it's so close to being done, I'm giving it a weekend focus. So on the weekends, I try to work on it at least on Saturday or Sunday because it's so close. And I really think I will be able to finish it soon. So I'm not going to take it out of the hoop because that's just a pain. But this is where it is now. And this is on a 28 count even weave, 2/1 10 stitching. So I've decided to do like all of my big projects in 10 stitch now because it just goes so much faster. This is flying by. And the coverage is great and it looks fantastic. I'll try to, it's like melee stitching for the needle minder. They're really cute. Okay, I will clip those back up later. So that was my Epic Pokemon. Next that I worked on was Midnight Kitties by Mill Hill. So this is my first Mill Hill button and beads. Oh no, I keep saying Midnight Kitties and it's not, it's Moonstruck. I keep doing that. I confuse those two charts. I don't even know if there's a Midnight Kitty one. Anywho, this is my first button and beads. I'll try to put a picture of what it looked like last time if I ever showed it. I don't think I did. And this is what it'll look like finished. And sorry for the crinkle. This is what it looks like now. It's looking so good. It was hard to put it down, but I knew I was going to get burnt out on it. So that's why I like my rotation method. Let me see if I have something to put behind it. How about this book? This might help it a little bit. Not really. The red shows through, but either way, it's looking great. I love it. Love this. And Calico, Christine, I think her name is. Hi, Christine. She's really inspiring me with Mill Hills. She just does beautiful Mill Hill work. I love them. And she just makes it look so easy to do the beading, and it just looks like so much fun. So I'm super excited to finish this one. Look at that cat. Yes. It's cool, you can kind of see the black stitching better on the camera than I can with my own eyes, because this is on black perforated paper and it's really hard to see it. But now that I'm looking at it, it looks so good. I'm so excited for that one. And I'm not really like a Halloween stitcher. I don't get like really excited about Halloween charts and stuff, but this one I'm really excited about. But I think I'm biased because it has black hats in it and I love black hats. I should put these back in the project bags that are for them. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Next up is my Dark World piece from The Legend of Zelda. So this is the Dark World map from the game. This is on a 18 count, just a regular white Ida, 2/1. This is a pattern from Box Cat Shop on Etsy, and this is what it looked like last time. And I'm about to show what it looks like now. I mean, it's pretty massive. I'm never finishing this, but this is where I am. So I did get to more. I think this is Ganon's castle. I really can't remember too much. Oh my god, it looks so great on the camera. The lighting in this room is really lovely, and I think it's because it's a mix of the light coming in from my window and using daylight bulbs. I forget about daylight bulbs. So that is looking really good. And this is one of my last BAPs. Well, I'm not gonna say that because I'll tell you my plans. But this is one of the last BAPs that will have, I keep saying that, but it's not true. But that is done without 10 stitching. So this one is done full cross. But maybe I should say my mega BAPs, which means big ass project, will be 10 stitched and not full cross. It takes forever. Next up is my seasonal projects. So there are, oh, and I forgot to bring the book with me. So there are these 4 seasonal cottages that I work on, and I try to work on it in the season that we're in. So there's a summer, winter, fall, and spring one. And since we are currently still in summer, I am working on the summer one. I'll try to insert a picture of what it looks like finished, but I usually just show the book that it's from on the screen. So sorry, folks. But I'll try to show what it looked like last time. I'm not sure if I showed it in my last video. I might have to dig around for it. This one is in a spring hoop ring. And I'm loving it. And I did a few changes on this. So this is on a 14 count white Ida that I hand dyed myself to look like the Summer Sky Jobelin that it called for. And I finished the whole top part. So now I'm working on the bottom. I subbed the American flag for a Puerto Rican flag because I'm Puerto Rican and I wanted a little cottage that represented me. I think I am going to get a star bead instead of trying to figure out how to stitch or back stitch or French knot some kind of star there. No thanks. I'm just gonna buy a star bead. I love this one, it's really cute. And then, okay. Next one, and I forgot to bring the pamphlet for this one too, but it's okay. This one's gonna be a gift for my dad. This is the Footprints poem. I don't know how to describe it any way else. I guess it's from the Bible. I don't know. I don't think it is. It's just a poem. And it's almost done, but it's not the most riveting stitch because it's all back stitching. And so this is what, I might have had a picture of what it looked like before, but I doubt it. So this is what it's looking like so far. Trying to make sure that it stays in the frame. It's really hard. Anywho, there's gonna be like some seagrass and clouds and stuff at the bottom. Hoping to finish that by Christmas. I'd love to gift that to him then. And, ta-da! Oh, did I bring that one with me? I was gonna show you what I'm working on now, currently in my rotation, but no, I got it. That's in my little Evertote accessories pouch that I got from Caroline at the New Jersey Flosstube retreat last year. Hi, Caroline. Love it. Such a cute little bag. And in here I have a Lizzie Kate, the cross stitcher in residence snippet. And oh boy, I haven't shown this, so I'm not even going to show a picture of last time because I don't think I ever showed it, and it's a pretty new start. Not a new start, but it's pretty new. And this is on a hand-dyed from Color and Cotton in the 28 count Cashel River Rock. I need help. And I subbed a lot of the colors because I didn't have all of those. So this is a mix of Dinky Dyes, Gentle Arts, and Classic Colorworks. So like really my first time using any of these kinds of fancy floss. I really only had Dinky Dyes before because I bought an Oops pack. So that was my first try of silks, and now this is my first try using these threads, which I've never used before. But I love it so far. I mean, I feel like the colors don't really pop, but I think it'll be fine. And I'm thinking of a white frame for it. But I like it so far. So this is currently what I'm working on. And I changed up my rotation a little bit to be more time-based. I used to do just 5 working days on my project. But what was happening was like I was picking it up for just like a half hour and I wasn't really getting a substantial amount of time on my project. And what would happen is like if one of those days fell on a day where I had more time to work on it, some projects just got way more time than others. So I decided when I rotate on something, if it's a super BAP, it gets between 15 to 20 hours of work. And if it's a small like this, I want it to at least get 10 to 15 hours of work. So I'm tracking time now, and I don't know how I feel about it yet, but I like the progress that I'm getting. So that's it for my cross-stitching whips. Now for my knitting whips, the sock I'm working on now is Rose City Rollers. I forget the pattern designer, but you can find it on Ravelry. And this is one sock so far. So this is a cotton sock. And the yarn is Crystal Palace Yarns, Panda Cotton. I don't think this company is making yarn anymore, but you can get some D-stash on Ravelry if you are looking for a cotton yarn, sock yarn, or fingering weight. I don't think it's technically a sock yarn. It's actually, it's 59% bamboo, 25% cotton, and 16% elastic nylon. And this is the colorway Vanilla Cream. And I like these kind of socks for summer because they're a little bit lighter weight. I mean, I've worn my wool socks in the summer, no problem, but these are really nice too, for if you're looking for a really breathable, warmer weather sock. These are good. So that was the finished one, and my other one is still, my second pair is still on the needles here. So I'm up to the gusset on that one. So those should be done sometime this week. And my other knitting, winter is on its way. Sorry for the crinkling. I have a sweater that I've been working on since 2015, and I finally decided to get it out and finish it. This is Flax by Tin Can Knits on Ravelry. In very, very easy fur sweater pattern if you're looking for an easy fur sweater knit. My only thing is it comes out very rectangular and boxy. So for guy sweaters, it might be perfect, but for women, there's no waist shaping. And I'm not that confident in my sweater making yet to do waist shaping all on my own. I also don't see so much arm shaping right now, so the arms are going to be like the same thickness. I guess I'm really struggling with the words for that. And also what happened to me, so I started this in 2015, and in 2018, I got really serious about my health. I went keto. I still am keto for 2 years now, and I lost over 50 pounds. So what happened is the sweater kind of fits really big now. It probably wouldn't have fit me before, but now it fits probably too big, but I figure it's still worth it because I can wear it to work in the fall or early winter and just have another layer underneath. So this can actually be my top layer instead of having like a light jacket. So I'm not so worried about it. But this is it. So see what I'm talking about that really boxy looking shape. So there's not much shaping there, and I guess you could shape it. I mean, it doesn't look bad when you're wearing it either, because I looked at some of my sweaters that I have in my closet, and a lot of them are this box shape. But I think what's really getting me is that it's just too big for me now, but it still fits cozy. And since this was my first sweater, in fact, not my first sweater actually, this is my second sweater. But since I was still experimenting with sweater making and construction that many years ago, I didn't want to get a really expensive yarn. So this is just that Vanna's Choice stuff that you can find at Michael's. And it's in mustard for the yellow, and the brown is barley. So it's like it has like these little tweedy bits in it, and it's really cute. This is a really easy sweater construction, like I said. And the yarn actually isn't too bad. Like, it is a little bit scratchy, and my hope is that when I wash it, since it's just an acrylic, I think. you know, it'll really react well to fabric softener or, you know, dryer sheets, whatever, and it'll soften it out. I'm pretty confident it'll get softer. It won't stay as scratchy. So I finished the body. That took forever. I'm not sure if I'm happy with my bind off, but I think it'll also look better and kind of shape in better once it's washed. And then I'm starting the sleeve, which is just boring and it's taking forever. So I started one sleeve already. Kind of hoping it'll be done by the time it gets colder, but I don't have high hopes for that. Oh, I had a new start and I forgot to bring it. Did I forget? Oh no, it's here. So I started another Pokemon card, another TCG card by Birdie Stitching. I started my Meowth. So this was one of the 4 new starts that I wanted to start during the summertime. And I literally just have that. So I like to stitch these on 14 count plastic Ida because they look like a card, and then you can back them with felt and you can use them as bookmark, whatever you want to use it for. And I do want to talk about another new start that I want to have. This is why I was talking about not doing all BAPs 10 stitch, because I am trying to start Pandemic, the long dog sampler that came out for free sometime in March or April. I picked it up. It's not free anymore, but you can still buy it from Long Dog Samplers. I'm trying to decide on fabric. Fabric is like hard to find. It's crazy. So I'm debating, like, do I want to spend 50 bucks on a piece of linen when I could be getting new stuff for my craft room and paint, because we still have to paint? Or do I want to do it on 18 count. I'm really not picky in terms of linen versus Ida. I would prefer Ida because I really don't enjoy stitching over 2. My brain gets confused. I have to pay attention. And I kind of like a little bit of mindless cross stitch here and there. So I'm really thinking like either the vintage mocha-y color. There was also this really nice green model-y Picture This Plus. I forget what it was called that got my attention. I do know I want to try a DMC variegated with it because I don't want to spend a lot on thread and have to buy that all at one time. Even though I know if it's DMC, you should still try to buy it at one time, but I'm bad at that. So I'm just debating, do I dye my own or do I spend money on a big piece of linen? Excuse me, which I can't even get the colors that I want because they're sold out. Anywho. All right, moving on. I think that's it really anyway. Talk a little bit about books. I don't like to give synopsises. I just like to share what I'm reading, just in case someone's looking for a new book. And you hear a title that really just strikes you. I don't really like to just go on about plot and stuff like that. So books that I did, and I don't talk about books that I'm currently reading because I really hate spoilers, and people just seem to like try to give you a little nugget of like, oh, did you kind of get up to so-and-so part, or they just say something and it ends up being a spoiler even though they don't think it's a spoiler. Like, I hate that stuff, so I never mention what I'm reading. So I did finish Where the Crawdads Sing. Borrowed it from my library. Really, really good read. I could not put it down. I think I finished it in like 2 days. It was really good. It was really good. I know a lot of people are like raving about it, but I really enjoyed it. I read The Summer Book. This was a book that was gifted to me by a student. I mean, her mom gifted it to me. I mean, she's 5. It's not like she went out to the store and picked The Summer Book for Miss Jen. So I have this. It was a good book. It's like these little short stories about a grandma and her daughter and the time they spend during the summer. Really nice. Translated from a Swedish author. I love Swedish books, Swedish children's books. I went to Sweden to look at their early childhood programs. I really enjoy it. Their children's museum in Stockholm is really incredible. If you ever get a chance to go to Junebacken, you have to go. This was a good read. I finished, and I actually have it in hard copy, but I don't have it here with me to show you. I finished The Call of the Wild and White Fang, so it was in one book. Really enjoyed White Fang a lot. It took me a while to kind of immerse myself in it, and then when I got halfway through, was really good. I didn't enjoy Call of the Wild so much. I'm also still trying to go through some of these classic books. So that was on that list of classic reads that I maybe skipped over in my childhood or were banned or some other reason that it came up that I never read it. Because I had a tendency to like not read books that were assigned reading in school because I just didn't feel like I wanted anyone to tell me what I needed to read. So I came back to that book. I read, and this was all Netflix's fault, I read The Babysitter's Club book 1. Nostalgia reasons, really. I enjoyed them when I was growing up. I might continue reading some of them here and there. Really mindless read, you know, just little tween books. So I enjoyed it. I don't care. Sometimes we all need that kind of mindless reading like that. And then I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but I think I did. I read The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins, which is a prequel to Hunger Games and is President Snow's story. Good. I'd say if you like the Hunger Games, check it out. Some people complained about it already. I'm hoping there's another one. And that's about it. So I maybe will try to insert pictures or take a little room tour and insert it at the end of this video. But if you made it to the end, thank you so much. And hit like if you like this video. If you have any questions about projects that I showed, you can comment below and I'll try to answer them because I know I forget the names and the designers, and I'm really, really sorry that my brain cannot hold on and remember these things unless I write them down. And even then I have to remember to write them down, which is really bad. But I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone is healthy and happy or trying their best to be positive, because I know for me that has been a real struggle these past 2 months, is just finding nuggets in your day where you can be positive and smile and just remember to do things for yourself and remember to do those things that make you happy. Like before I go, I'll share really briefly. So me and my coworkers have been working with using puppets for kindergarten. Especially if we stay remote, because the screen on Zoom just allows it to be sort of like this weird rectangle that kind of gives a stage. And so we've been using puppets to just bring that joy back to the children. You know, for those kids that were rolling all over the floor and we couldn't get them to come and join us in front of the screen, just having this little puppet there that might just bring a little joy and a smile. And it's been bringing a lot of smiles to me to just have this other personality with me. I should show you what my puppet looks like. It's actually on top of the box that I'm sitting on right now. Well, that the camera is on. So this is my puppet. Are you guys ready? This is what me and my coworkers did during the summer. We went to a puppet workshop. You know, everyone else is going for those academics and reading and writing, and I'm sorry, we are in a global pandemic. We need some joy. Children need joy. Reading and writing, it will come. They will not grow up to be illiterate people. Promise. This is my puppet. This is Kiki. So I just thought I would introduce Kiki to you. This is my first ever sack puppet. And I'm really excited for it. And excited to introduce her to my kindergarten kids next year. Having a lot of fun working with puppeteers and teaching artists. And yeah, so find that joy, places where you can smile, find time for yourself, and happy stitching, everybody. Bye. Okay, so bless the mess, folks. I told you I would bring you on a little room tour. So yes, bless the mess. We just had to put joint compound on the walls. Lots of cracks. It wasn't worth it to fix the drywall in my building. I'm in a building that's over 100 years old. We have lived in my apartment for over 30 years. We tend to not ask for repairs because they raise our rent. And if you are familiar with New York City, that means it'll be somewhat unlivable. There's a turtle in here. in a really small tank. I know. I got her from school right before school's closed. We have hermit crabs. If you want to come check them out, they're super fun. These are my classroom pets that I rescued when the pandemic hit and we had to close school. So I just brought them here for now. Get them better environments once this room gets set up. So yeah, it's a really tiny room, guys. So really not sure how I'm gonna make this space work, but we'll see. All right.